1-800-LOVE 191. That's 1-800-LOVE 191. And now, here's Loveline with your hosts, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Oh, all right. Sorry. A-hole Lycus pushed the wrong button in here. Phone number for Loveline.
Yeah, this is Loveline, yeah.
I'm sorry. I get pissed off at people. They come in here and they push buttons and they don't push them back.
God, can you imagine the temerity?
Well, I come in here and I have my, they turn the headset volume all the way up to 15, and I come in here and it's blowing out the headphones, and I don't know if they're a bunch of jokers or if they're just drunk or what the hell goes on here. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191, fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. It's Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Diane Farr is our guest tonight. Diane is our guest every night when we do the TV show. And people like Diane, I got to tell you.
Sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, gotten a little feedback. People weren't necessarily, people weren't nuts about Chris McGaha, who was the first girl out in the audience for Loveline.
Again, strange that people say they missed her when she left. That was a strange thing
really?
about Chris. Yeah,
right.
Not
like on the set or like fans?
No, fans. Fans are very fickle.
Yeah.
It's like they hate whoever the incumbent is, but then when they leave, they miss them.
Underdog theory.
Right. So Chris split, and then Laura Keitlinger, who's a stand-up and a very nice person, came in and did the second batch that we did. MTV works in batches of 65. We did 65 episodes with Chris McGaha, then we did 65 with Laura Keitlinger.
You actually may know the history of this. We did like about 10 in there with all kinds of people.
Wasn't that in one of the seasons where you had like rotating chicks?
We had like
Carmen Electra
and all kinds of people. For a while.
Joanne Worley was my favorite. So
I like Ruth Buzzy first.
The last batch of 65 we've done is with Diane Farr, and people seem to like her the best.
Yes.
And not a slight on the other girls, but this works out the best. Diane's not a stand-up comedian. She doesn't push real hard, but she's got a good head on her shoulders, and people like her.
Thank you. Wow.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And, the thing is I'm guessing you'll be back for the next batch of 65.
Yes.
We're all guessing, right?
No, yes.
Here's how little Drew and I know about our own TV show.
We don't know when we're going to film it.
We had Jeff Ross, who's a stand-up in here, who came in, was our guest last night, and he knows Laura Keitlinger because she's a stand-up. And he said, hey, Laura's real nice. She's a friend of mine. What happened with her on the TV show? And we went, what?
Whatever.
Well, what happened? She did that one season, then she was gone. Some sort of contract dispute. You guys not get along? What's up? And I was like,
everyone assumes it's you guys.
Or just even assume
that we even knew.
Even assume that we knew. Do we know?
No.
Do we have any idea what happened with Chris McGaha or with Laura Keitlinger?
No.
But don't you guys get asked, on a daily basis, when are you going back? When are the new ones? When are they going to stop? 45 questions a day. I don't know. I don't know. They don't tell me anything.
Not from people, but my accountant would like to know. Because I got a pretty good heroin habit going. And he knows I got to get back to work. But Diane, all right, so let me tell my Diane story. And I don't know if... I think I got into it a little bit last night with Robert Wall.
Yeah.
I was in an elevator. Robert Wall's the guy who stars in Arliss, which is the HBO comedy series, which is about a sports agent. And it's a funny series, and he's a funny guy most of the time. And he's done a million movies and done a million stand-up gigs. You wouldn't believe all the movies Robert Wall... I mean, he's got some serious credits.
Huge ones for years, forever.
Yeah, he was in the first Batman and had a big part in that, and has done a lot of really big...
Bull Durham, he had a big part in that.
Oh, Bull Durham, right. I mean, he's done a lot of really big movies. But anyway... He's got this thing, Arliss, and I went in an elevator with him in some building, and he recognized me, and I recognized him, and I gave more pleasure, and then we went up to the fifth floor, and he said,
so did I.
He was real cryptic. Well, yeah, you had to get the gig. I was just killing time between floors. He said, I got to show you something. And he was real cryptic about it, and he went up and he showed me Diane's episode that she stars in, or guest stars in, which is going to air this Sunday on HBO at 9:30. And he couldn't stop raving about her, and she was great. Diane's a great actress,
I know.
Drew. You don't know that.
No,
you don't know that.
I've
We
talked
did
to
a
her.
TV show together, the three of us, that no one else has ever seen as actors.
See?
Oh,
Fired up.
that's right. Yeah, we did 2 guys, a chick, and a pottery kiln. It was just a pilot. No, we did All Fired Up.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Fired
Yeah,
up.
it's gone.
Fired out.
Died
Just
immediately
fired.
after us.
It was fired and we didn't finish it.
We killed that episode, so that never
you-
never did air.
You just went into some room with him totally unknowing what he was going to do to you?
I have
Yeah,
I have
it
picked Diane's brain about her training. And
Oh, really?
Are you aware how much training she's had? No,
uh,
you don't know anything.
I don't
So-
like to fraternize with the people I work with. Diane, how would you describe my demeanor on the set besides professional?
Okay, so if we shot for 10 weeks, I think the first 3, you never made eye contact with me, unless I was on the couch, and then maybe. And then after that period of time passed, I'd get it once in a while. And then at about week 5, we all had this little thing with Robin Williams, and I knew they wanted you to do something, and I knew you were going to be awkward with it, so I sort of went with you to play diplomat.
They want to get Robin Williams on because he was on the lot doing something else.
He was watching the show being filmed.
Right. Well, the
I
night
don't know.
before, he'd come up to me and said something, and all day long, and David and Scott were like, go get him. And I'm like, Adam, come on. You have to do it. You're the host. And we went outside, and we all kind of pulled it off, and he came in with us. And about an hour later, you're like, I don't really like people, but you're all right. You want to have coffee?
I don't
Nothing
like
funny,
people.
but we can have coffee. And I was like, hey, I made friends with Adam. 5 weeks later, 35 shows in the can.
It's not because I'm an a-hole. I'm just insecure, and I just assume nobody wants to talk to me. That's all.
But you're wrong.
Oh, I know. Everyone loves me.
And now the worst is I have sick little sister syndrome. There is 6 degrees of Loveline. I have met every person the two of you have ever known in your whole life.
Oh, that's bad.
Everyone I had a general meeting today with the director and a producer. I walk in, hi, Adam Carolla's in our film. Did you know that? I'm like, I don't even know the name of your film. I'm not even sure why I'm here.
What film is it?
I'm not.
Am I in it? Have I done it?
No, you know one of the producers, and it's not going yet, but they wrote a part for you.
Oh. Well,
and
that's
then
going to
Drew,
be good.
I met an attorney last week who said to me, oh, you're on Loveline. Dr. Drew is the speaker this week on our Monday,
Oh, yeah, that's
firm
true.
something or other.
Right.
And your sister was a paralegal at some other... I mean, everyone you could ever imagine, never mind the fans.
Well, between Drew banging half the town and me having meetings with him, I think we've pretty much covered most of Los Angeles.
And then I walk in afterwards and hear, oh, I love whichever. They're always in love with one of you, but it's never the same.
Right. Oh, yes. It's usually Drew, too, let's be honest. So, Diane, you're going to come back and do the 4th batch of 65 of Loveline, the TV show?
That's the
Are
way
you planning on that?
I am planning.
Right. And like I said, people who sit at home and are laymen and assume that because we're in front of the camera, they tell us anything or we're aware of what's going on or we have some process involved with the decision making. No, absolutely not. We had nothing to do with Diane coming on the show. We had nothing to do with any of the other girls who came on the show. If they fired you tomorrow, we'd have nothing to say about it.
Well,
we would say something about it. Yeah.
I was like, at least tell me what while I'm sitting here at.
No, we would say something about it, but
It would fall on deaf ears.
right. All right. So I like Diane. That's good. And I was dead set against the female presence on the show, as you know.
Actually, this is a good story. When they offered me the part after I went through like 5 auditions, the network test, another meeting, and then a chat, I was like, what is a chat? I don't want to chat with you people. Do I have this job or not? They're like, do you have any questions? And I'm like, no, not really. And it goes on for a while, and they're like, well, you have the job. I was like, oh, well, then I have some questions. And I said, do they want me here? And they all went, well, in like a really roundabout way, yeah. And I'm like,
that's David
okay, that's
Scott.
a no. I was like, well, then why am I here?
Oh, I was begging them. How insulting did I get with them about having the female presence? Because when the first and the second one didn't work out, I was livid.
Why are you doing this again?
Right, because I threw a tantrum on the first one. And then when they said, okay, the first one didn't work out,
Here come 12 more.
we got to find a second one. They blamed Chris McGaha. They didn't blame her, but they just said she didn't work out. And I said, no, she was fine. You guys screwed up. You shouldn't have put her out there. And then they said, we're holding auditions for the second one. And I said, okay, I'll have no part of this. I'm a conscientious objector. I'm not going to be involved with this stupidity. And they forced me to come down there, and they paraded. It was like a scene from the Fabulous Baker Brothers. Was that the movie?
The Baker, yeah.
Baker Boys or Baker Brothers, where they did the auditions for the lounge singer, and it was like women with bizarre, like 3 breasts, and named Candy, who were chewing their gum, and and they were answering sex questions. How surreal and bizarre was that?
I only remember doing that later.
For my round?
Yeah,
of
for
tests?
your round.
Well, the best ever was at
Did
my
we see
test.
you?
Yeah,
You
she was
saw
first
me.
or something.
I think I was actually second
Yeah.
because they kept us in this little room and then they moved me into a green room and I was like, this is the weirdest damn thing I've ever done. I have no idea what I have to do. So I snuck out and hid behind the producers and watched the first girl on the monitor.
Uh-huh.
Because it's like there's no script. I have no idea. I've seen the show a couple of times. So I watched her and she's getting so giggly and uncomfortable and she's jumping all over the place and I'm like, well, the camera guy can't even follow her. Sit still. And I just sort of figured out what I needed to do. So I come out and I sit down and the first question they ask, they're giving us mock questions, is girl cheats on her boyfriend with his twin brother and blah, blah, blah. He wants a test. And Drew goes mental. Well, actually, biologically, blah, 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 and goes through why it wouldn't show.
No.
And they're like, Drew, you already have the job. Would you let the girl speak?
Did I yell at him? I hope I yelled at him. Here's Drew's plan in life. He complains about how long we have to be everywhere and then drags it out an extra 25 minutes. Drew's answering the question like this thing's going out on the air somewhere. What? Oh, Drew, you're so pathetic.
Stuff like this makes me sick.
All right, let's take some calls, and then Diane's going to tell us about a possible Loveline, Love Boat episode that we may all be on.
Oh, boy.
It's a natural. Deborah.
Yes.
You're 36.
Uh-huh.
What's going on?
Nothing much.
Uh-oh. You high?
No.
Really?
What's your question?
My question is, I have this rock star who's in love with me.
I get that all the time.
Uh-huh.
Well, his spirit talks to me.
So you hear voices.
Right.
Are you on any medication right now?
Yes, I am.
What medicines are you taking?
Haldol.
Haldol, which is an antipsychotic medication. Are you schizophrenic?
That's what I was clarified as.
So she is schizophrenic.
Which rock star?
David Coverdale.
He's alive, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Oh, I see. He speaks you clairvoyantly, although he's just not in the same room, right?
Right. His spirit talks to me.
Deborah, are
Interesting.
you living independently?
No.
You live in a home or something?
No, I have a boyfriend.
Hey,
He supports you?
Huh?
He supports you?
No, I get SSI.
Okay.
Hey, Deborah, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
As long as you're going to communicate with someone sort of telepathically,
Uh-huh.
why go with the guy from Whitesnake? You know what I mean? Why not go with Jimi Hendrix or something like that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're going to be nuts, you might as well do it right. I mean, like if you're going to
I didn't ask him to talk to me.
Oh, I see.
You just get him? You have no say
I
in
went to his concert. He gave me a cold stare, and then ever since, my whole life's been different.
Have you been screwing around with your medication?
Huh?
Have you not been taking your medication the way it's prescribed?
Yes, I have.
Exactly. How much Haldol are you taking?
I take 1 in the morning and 2 at night.
Okay. You might want to call the doctor that's prescribing that because the Haldol should control those sorts of symptoms. You shouldn't be hearing voices. You shouldn't be...
You don't believe in spiritual life?
You shouldn't be believing that messages are being taught or being sent to you through the radio and that kind of thing. Is that those are?
I don't believe in that.
Deborah, those are. I know.
Yeah,
Those are symptoms of your active schizophrenia.
I can see you talking to your grandfather or Harry Tubman or something,
when
but not David Coverdale. That doesn't make sense.
When you have schizophrenia, these are the symptoms that the disease is active.
Now, when did you go to the Whitesnake concert?
This was 9 years ago.
Right. And has he been...
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
same question. Have you been talking to him for 9 years?
Yes, I have.
What do you guys chat about?
He just tells me how much he loves me and he's going to marry me and all this stuff. And this has been going on for 9 years, and I'm tired of it.
Does your boyfriend know?
Yeah.
He's okay with that?
Uh-huh.
Well,
He talks to him.
Her boyfriend's Leif Garrett. Do you have a real boyfriend? I mean, is he in the house and stuff?
Uh-huh, he's in another room.
Oh, okay. What's he do?
He's retired.
He's retired?
Uh-huh.
Some sort of oil tycoon or something? No.
I don't want to get into that.
Is he an older gent? Or is
Yes,
he just...
he is.
Oh, he is? Mm-hmm. Now, does he have a girlfriend other than you, too?
No.
He's not dating Deborah Harry or something like that?
No.
No.
So you're basically saying you want this to stop, right?
Yeah, I want him, either he comes into my life or he leaves it.
If you want it to stop, you need to adjust the medication. Have you been on anything besides Haldol?
I was taking Thorazine once.
Okay. There are some newer medications for schizophrenia right now that are really quite effective.
There is?
Yeah, a lot of new stuff out there. And
I'm just wondering what this guy wants with me.
I just think in terms of getting the symptoms to stop. And if you get your medications changed, it should.
I know this is a futile and adolescent, Drew, but I just want to try something. I just want to try some sort of retarded layman logic here for a second.
On her?
Yeah.
It could be dangerous. I mean, seriously, you could...
Well, that's not going to be. I'm not going to take on the voice of Satan or anything. I'm just, you know, you have schizophrenia, right?
Yeah.
You're aware you have a condition, and it manifests itself in hearing voices and manufacturing things that aren't really there, right?
I believe he's there.
All right, I know David Coverdale's around somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Certainly not touring, but he's around. I think his agent would like to talk to him too. But the point is you realize you have this condition, right?
Right.
So wouldn't you use logic and, like, put it this way, Deborah, you ever been drunk?
Yeah.
Okay, like, I've been drunk. I've been really drunk, and I've been in Tijuana, and I've seen a guy walking down the street, and he looked like two guys. There was two of them. Mm. But I knew there was only one because I knew I was really drunk, and I was aware how drunk I was. I was aware that I was under the influence of something and in the grips of something. Now, you're in the grips of this disease. Don't you...
I don't think it's a disease, though.
All right, but you understand that you have something that would make you think that you would be dating David Coverdale when you're not dating David Coverdale.
Or even if you're not thinking it, that you will hear him. Like, you actually hear him. It's not even that you think you're hearing him. You hear him, but you know that that's because of the schizophrenia.
Other people have heard him.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I got to go now. You got to take more medication, Deborah.
How much I have to take?
Well, more than you're taking now.
You may have to change your medication because there's some newer stuff with lesser side effects. And make sure you consult.
Is this Dr. Drew?
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Drew.
Okay.
Hey, all right. Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Is it that 9 years ago she went to a Whitesnake concert, which I think could have caused the whole thing? She was, she was probably like in the gifted program at some Ivy League school before she went to the Whitesnake concert. But the point is she saw David Coverdale. They locked eyes for a moment. She was already under this, had the schizophrenia, and that was it for her.
She probably has had other things like this throughout her life. This is just the one du jour. This is the one she's having now, and it locked in as a result of a circumstance.
Right.
I mean, delusions often have a basis in reality, but the interpretations are always really skewed, really bizarre. And what you saw an example of there was lack of insight, which is something we deal with all the time with our patients, with our callers. But this is just
patients. Let's call them patients.
But this is just a more obvious example of somebody that can't get the insight.
I know, but you know my example? Like, I've been really freaked out on mushrooms before.
Yes.
And I've seen, I saw a bee flying in the air, and I could see the little ripples coming off its wings like it was in a pond of water, you know, even though it was in the air. And I thought it was great, but I was really high, and I knew it was only happening because I was high, even though it was totally real to me.
That's insight.
Oh, that is?
And that's the difference between being high and having the disease?
But she knows she has schizophrenia. That doesn't do it?
She doesn't make the connection between the two?
Think of all the people we have with personality problems, where they make all those connections, and they go, oh, but I love him.
Right.
Same problem.
Okay. No, Drew's always right. You know, I think if I can use logic and then yell at people, I can break them from the grip.
That worked in my house, yeah.
What?
That worked in my house.
Really?
Use logic and yelling.
Yeah.
You got what you needed. That's all the information you needed. No drama.
Oh, you're Italian, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, see?
Same thing.
Gary.
Yeah.
You're 19.
Uh-huh.
What's going on?
Well, sometimes late at night, Jimi Hendrix will, come to me and I'm sleeping.
Listen, Drew's never amused by my comedy, and I'm a professional, Gary.
All right. Well, my question is, I got a girlfriend that we've been going out for about 3 months, and she wants me to give her oral sex, but I'm kind of worried about catching something. And I was just like,
Are you having regular sex with her?
Yeah.
But you don't think you could catch anything that way?
Well, no. I mean, I know what I can catch that way, but I'm wondering, is like the same stuff I can catch through regular sex?
Yes. You're not going to increase your risks by engaging in oral sex, as far as I can see.
What is there anything like that I can't?
Good angle though. I'm gonna try working that
Anything
one.
you could only get through the oral?
Yeah.
No.
What about stuff that you can't get through the oral?
No.
Anything, or is it...
You can get everything through the oral.
Do you use
You may be a little more likely to get it with intercourse.
Well, hold on. Do you use a condom when you're?
Yeah.
Oh, you do. See.
Okay.
I knew there was something we were missing here.
Then, if you're really worried about it, you can use a dental dam.
Oh my God, that'll never happen. Don't even go there. Did you guys get tested together?
She did, but her results haven't come back. Went in like yesterday.
Why weren't you tested?
Yeah.
Huh?
Why weren't you tested?
Well, someone had to drive.
Oh, I was a virgin before that.
And what? How many? How many guys has she been with?
About, she said 3.
3. Put a 1 in front of that and a 0 after that.
Was she not? Were any of these guys at risk for HIV or anything like that?
No, as far as she knows.
Okay.
All right. That's fine.
So be careful.
Well, yeah, but listen.
Yeah, but when she gets the test back, if the tests are all fine, he can feel pretty rest assured.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then like.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah.
Here's my feeling. When a guy wants to do something, he does it. And when he doesn't, he starts coming up with things like, I don't want to get crabs in my goatee or something. So is that what's going on, Gary? You're a little bit nervous about that?
No, I'm just like, I'm kind of worried that maybe, years from now I'm going to regret having done something like that.
You will, but it'll be on an emotional level. Lord knows I feel that way.
You may regret it in a month if she's gone, if he doesn't do what she wants.
Yeah, you're really going to regret it when you're spending the rest of your days pleasuring yourself and crying yourself to sleep. Gary?
Yeah?
All right, just go have at it, would you?
All right.
All right? And don't spaz out down there.
Okay.
And don't try too hard.
Okay.
It's like dancing. If you're not very good, don't do the funky chicken or anything. Just take it slow and just try to copy whoever's next to you. It's too bad. Whenever I dance, my technique for dance is I just look at whoever's across from me, and whatever it is they do, I do, figuring they got to be better than me. I should really have a guy next to me when I perform oral sex. You know what I mean? Just kind of look over and just sort of follow his moves.
This is all the way back from cheating off exams, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
need an Asian woman in front of me so I can get an A on the oral test. All right, Diane Farr's here. Diane's going to be on our list coming up HBO this Sunday. And you can also find her on Loveline whenever that's on. And we'll be back. I missed that Slash. I don't know where Slash is. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm getting the feeling he some people go to like a supermarket and can't find their car.
Yeah, he's still looking.
I think Slash went to get his paper and lost his house. He went down to the end of the driveway, saw something shiny, he got confused, he dropped a cigarette in his biker boot, lit his sock on fire, and then couldn't find his house after that. All right, so Slash, if you're listening, call in. Diane Farr is here tonight. Diane is, she's part of the cast of Loveline, the TV show. And that can be found on, I guess we should plug the show.
Like the cast. This is the whole cast.
You want to hear something? I mean, here's something surreal. We've been doing the TV show for a couple of years now. I don't believe we've ever said when it's on or what it's on.
No.
Well, it just got moved. It's on at 11:30 now.
That's right.
Monday through Friday on MTV.
It's not on Saturday and Sunday?
No. Just Monday through Friday. You guys are hysterical. Do you know that? Don't you get stopped by people that tell you these things? They just tell me everything about the two of your lives.
No, we don't. We never watch the show. We don't know when it's on because we're always working.
We're always here.
And MTV doesn't have any real schedule anyway. Each week, a monkey spins a giant wheel, and it could land on the sock puppet or Road Rules or whatever Tush Patrol or whatever else, whatever they happen to have on that week, and that's what they do. As I swear to God, I'll not see the show for 6 months, and then I'll see it at 3:30 in the morning on Thursday.
Right.
I can't figure out why that is. But anyway, Diane is she's a co-star of that show. You can also find her on our list, which is I guess it's on our list. Must be on its second or third.
I think it's its third season.
Third season on HBO. That is Sunday, 9:30. She does not just have a bit part in this. This is her episode. And it's great. She plays Robert Wall's, well, I don't want to give away the story, but there's a lot of scenes. There's a little passion in there and some dancing. And she cries.
Imagine
you
that.
saw a lot of this.
I saw the whole goddamn thing. I couldn't get out of there
get
fast
out.
enough. I swear to God.
He made you watch
He made me watch the entire thing.
No, it's 30 minutes long with no
30.
commercials.
Thought it was 45. Please. I was dying. I can't even watch myself. Imagine watching Diane. I'm like, oh, please. I got
with
enough
some
of her.
guy you met in an elevator.
Yeah, and
how
it was on one of these like Avid editing machines or something. Was it a Bay? Wasn't it? It's not like, I had a martini and a cigar and we were sitting down. I was standing there. And
my God.
anyway, I saw every scene you did.
Oh, my God.
But Diane is a wonderful actress. She's way too talented for MTV. I mean, she cried. You know what I mean?
You're shocked.
I'm such a horrible actor that I think someone crying is the pinnacle of acting. Even though 8-year-old kids can do it. I think, man, if they could make themselves cry, they should get some sort of Academy Award.
Now you have other stuff going on.
Yeah,
Drew.
actually.
Drew doing a little interviewing.
He's good.
What else you got going on there, Diane?
I'm shooting something tomorrow that I was going to hold over your head as bait and possibly take you to.
Really?
It's VIP. It's Pamela Anderson's new show.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
What's that on?
It'll be on Fox. It hasn't started yet. It starts airing in September.
Uh-huh.
It's like Miami Vice with breasts kind of thing. Like she's the
Excellent.
Dawn Johnson.
Excellent.
So I'm the bad guy. I have stunt double. I have flames. I take over the whole room, and she wrestles me to the ground by the end.
Really?
Full, fight, the whole thing you could ever imagine.
You filmed that yet?
I film it tomorrow.
Oh.
But did you choreograph it yet?
No, we have the rehearsals and the stunt stuff in the morning, and then we should shoot, the big fight scene tomorrow afternoon.
Is it going to be out? Is it a replacement show or
It's a new show for the new season in September.
It'll be out in September?
Yeah.
And is it it's an hour-long show?
Hour-long show, action drama.
Oh, I will not miss this.
No, but you can come.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's
Careful
it
you
at?
put that.
That's true.
I don't have the location yet, but it's in, L.A. area.
It's Central?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Uh-huh.
I don't have
I
too
thought
much
you
on my
might like
plate
that.
tomorrow. That'll be a good time. I love all that stuff, and I love shows. I love shows like that, of the action breast genre.
Exactly. I thought it'd be right. I got this thing, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. I'm shooting it after the Loveline radio show.
Is it a real horrible script?
No, it's actually really not that bad.
I'm not interested then. I like it to be really bad.
But there's a lot of jogging in the scenes that I'm
Oh,
doing,
really?
if you know what I mean, yeah.
Now, what is the story? She plays a private eye?
Yeah, she plays a private eye, and she has a whole team of them that are with her, guy and 2 other
This
girls.
isn't a spelling production, is it?
No, but, it's
Stephen
right
J.
up that
Cannell?
alley. No. But you guys got the genre. That's
As
it.
far as her team goes, are some of them experts in different things, like
Yes.
demolitions, knife throwing,
Martial
things like that,
arts,
martial arts?
reading
It's like the
lips.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah. There's never a
is.
member of the team who just likes to sit around and watch TV. What's Herb do? Nah, not much of anything. Little this, little that. No, they do one thing. They throw the ninja stars. I like the one, here's my favorite premise, when they have to break out guys from prison to form some sort of elite crime-fighting force that operates above the law. That's,
Right. We had the whole cast of that one on Loveline.
yeah, there are like 4 of that one. It's great, yeah. Really hot-looking Asian chick. She breaks them out. And one of now it's the 90s. One of them has to be the computer hacker.
Uh-huh.
And the good-looking chicks who are the computer hackers wear the glasses and their hair up in the bun.
That's me tomorrow.
Oh, really? You're the villain?
Yeah.
Now, what is, do you play you into drugs or running
Yeah,
guns?
it is actually a drug thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I should tell the whole thing, but somebody basically uses
No one's going to have the
this
sound up.
serum.
I got news for you. They're going to wait for you two to wrestle at the end.
I get overtaken by this serum or this thing that somebody puts on me, and I lose control, and I have to have this man. And when I take over the room with fire, Pamela and the crew comes in to get me.
Oh, this is excellent.
You'll love this. This is
I love
right
these
up your
shows.
alley.
You know, the last time Fox had a show that was like this, it was Lawless. And it starred Brian Bosworth, the ex-football player.
Yeah.
And you see, his name was John Lawless. You see, his last name was Lawless. And he was in Miami, and he was a detective.
And
and
he played?
It lasted 1 episode. I wish I'd taped it. This one's going on for years, though. I smell like syndication.
Played by his own rules?
Interestingly enough, it's a coincidence that you brought that up, but yes, finally a PI with the guts to play by his own rules. I was saying to Drew, every single one of these things, the caption is always he plays by his own rules, and I thought, imagine how frustrating it'd be playing like checkers with this guy, where he would just pick the board up and tip it over and grab all your stuff and throw it at you and like check it and king you and crown him. It'd be horribly frustrating. Well, he plays by his own rules.
Oh, I miss you guys.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
You're 25.
I am.
What's going on?
Nothing. I was just calling about Double Debbie that called you guys up.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with her?
The woman that was psychotic that called us? Yeah.
Are you familiar with her at all?
She was just a caller.
We don't know her work, Jason, if that's what you're talking about. Yes, I followed her for a while in the early 80s, but then I got busy with school.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering if you ever listen to the radio, catch her on Mark and Brian.
Oh, she
calls radio stations?
Yeah.
But she's not a gag, is she?
Well, I don't know. That's
No,
she seems nuts.
She's schizophrenic.
You think so?
This is the one from earlier?
I've heard her plenty say that she's actually possessed by David Coverdale.
Well, she is a woman with an illness.
Yeah.
And she takes medication, but not sufficient doses right now. And that's what schizophrenics think sometimes. I mean, there's all kinds of manifestations of the delusions of chronic psychotic illnesses, and this is one of them.
Huh. Well, it threw me for a loop there.
Oh, but you've heard her before?
Oh, totally. On the radio all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't make fun of her. They need to get her to
I'm not making fun of her. I'm wondering.
No, I'm not talking about you making fun of her. The other shows shouldn't make fun of her. They should get her to the appropriate care because she's still. I mean, that's very miserable to have hearing voices and stuff.
Especially David Coverdale. I mean,
no doubt. I mean, what one gun song? What?
Yeah, that's got to be rough. You got that white snake repeating in your head. All right, Drew, let's squeeze in another call just to say we did it. Kate.
Yes.
You're 26. You're on with the fabulous Diane Farr.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Hi, Kate.
Hi. I have been trying to distill my vast array of questions into some kind of palatable, easy, punchy
You know
question.
what? We better go to break before. Really, because we do have to go to break.
Really?
I'd rather take her
All right,
question in its total.
You have an eating disorder, right? Yes.
Yes or no?
That's fine. That's all right. Diane knows about all this stuff. She knows all about the chick stuff. I don't know what she's been through herself, but every bad thing that's happened to a chick, Diane's an expert on.
Diane's an expert with no credentials.
Oh, really? I don't know, but I said Diane knows about rape, eating disorders, breast being too big, breast being too small, dimpled ass syndrome. DAS, we call it. I mean, she knows. I'm not saying any of this has happened to you, but I'm just saying you seem to know about everything.
Well, the thing that I get all the time is people go, you come on and they never say your credentials. And I say, because I don't have any credentials. It's not a secret.
I'll be wrestling Pamela Anderson tomorrow. What kind of credentials?
That should help me out tremendously for next season.
All right, we'll go to break, and we'll be back to talk to Kate. Yes, you is. Phone number 1-800-LVE-191. Diane Farr is here tonight. Diane is our co-host on the MTV version of Loveline, and you can also find her guest starring this week on Arliss, coming up at 9:30 on Sunday on HBO. Probably has some other projects cooking, too. Mm-hmm. Starting to heat up a little.
Yeah.
Has the Loveline exposure helped you?
Totally.
Oh, really?
Like, I did a Broadway show in New York.
What's wrong with us?
No one cared.
We got to get new management.
No, but it's totally the thing. I did this Broadway show. It was fabulous. No one cared. I came out here. I sit on a couch and talk about sex. It's like, yes, we'd love to take a meeting.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's totally amazing. All the training, all the work, everything else, nothing matters.
Listen, I am convinced TV people in this town are so stupid. I could take my dad and duct tape him to a refrigerator dolly, put a sock in his mouth, and roll him out there like Hannibal Lecter. And if he sat there for enough episodes, he'd probably be taking some meetings. Just being exposed, just being you're on a show, hour a night, every night of the week. Mm-hmm. It's so surreal because we never see the show.
And I don't even know if you guys get the extent of it. Like, I get stopped about 10 times a
We
day.
get it when we go to the college thing.
It's probably
That's
the only
when it's
time you're
weird.
around people the most.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah,
I
both of
get
us are
stopped
sort of-
like 10 times a day.
He's a hermit.
Uh-huh.
No,
He's
I
busy
hang
with
out
his-
at the like Home Depot in San Fernando.
Yeah.
And people don't.
And I'm practicing medicine all day.
Right. And the thing is, it's not like the 15 to 25 like the average callers. Like, I'll go to the mall, and the mall's kind of okay. It's not like what I thought the mall was going to be. I go to a dinner party in, like, a pretty nice restaurant, and the maitre d' has to come out, and I have to go talk to, like, 4 different tables, and then someone comes up and tells me a confession about some horrible thing that happened to them, and I'm like, I'm just a chick on the couch. I'm, like, really not qualified for this right here, right now.
I always tell people I know as much about love and relationships as James Brolin knows about transmissions. He's just a stooge who sits there and talks about the noises that come out from your drivetrain. Yeah, but Diane, I wonder, and I have no idea how this works, but I wonder if you took a female, and I have a feeling about it, if you took a female and you took a male, especially if the female's attractive, and you put them both on TV for the same amount of time, I wonder if the female's going to get approached more than the male.
I don't know.
Think
because
that's
the
a
male
factor?
thinks-
I think it depends on the kind of person you're perceived to be.
Yeah.
I don't get approached as much as he does.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
It's when we're together that it's sort of weird.
They
Right.
find you more standoffish.
Yeah, I'm untouchable in some weird way or something.
Yeah, but they're afraid of both of you, from what I get. Like, whichever one they have the crush on, they're totally afraid of.
Oh, good.
It's
Hey.
hysterical.
What?
I got a card from someone one time. I think I told you this story. Hi, I have a dog, and I know that Adam has a dog because I heard him on the TV show, and if you could just give him my card, I'd love to walk his dog for him.
Oh, really?
I was like, first of all, why am I getting his fan mail? And second of all, you are a stalker. No.
And third off, she'd be dragging it now because the dog died like
No.
4 months ago. Yes,
No.
yes.
Yeah.
Why? How did it die?
It's a
I
long
killed it.
story.
No,
Oh,
I took
my
took the
God.
dog in to be spayed and never came back.
Get out.
Oh, devastation.
Is that like a huge trauma?
It is
Yeah.
for me because I grew up wanting a dog. I never had a dog
And you
because I
killed
always
your first
I always lived in an apartment, and my parents.
It's interesting the way Diane thinks you killed it.
Well, I did kind of couch it that way, but I wanted a dog my entire life, and I never had a dog. And as 6-8 months ago, it dawned on me, hey, I got a house, I got some money, I should go out and get a dog. I've been wanting one my whole life, so I got a dog, beautiful German Shepherd. Lived for about 6 months and died.
Oh, God.
It died the day after it learned not to crap on the carpet. And so it was
For the 40th time.
right,
Oh.
right, and so it
And are
was.
you afraid to get another one now?
No, not emotionally. Like this one's going to be taken away too. It's more just like, oh Christ.
The house
don't
is
need
too
to
nice
go
now.
I just went through it with this dog.
Right.
I want a dog in its 70s. I really do. I mean, I and maybe someone's listening can give us the answer, but I swear to God, I don't want a 2-month-old puppy. I want like a 7-month-old dog
Get them trained.
that is bilingual.
Yeah, you can probably get that. Certain breeds are better. Hey, I'm bothered about something. Wait, leave that. Debbie, the schizophrenic young lady, I didn't specify what the medications were that are out there now for her. Let me bring this discussion down to a second. But Clozaril is a medicine that's new available for people that have schizophrenia. It's a new class of medicine. There are things like that coming down the pike, and there's Zyprexa and Seroquel. And so there's a lot of things out there above and beyond Haldol, which is very powerful medicine.
Say the three again, and then I'll tell you what, we'll call Coverdale, and we'll get him to say
tell
the
her.
three too.
To fire it at her.
Say the three again.
Clozaril, Zyprexa, Seroquel.
Okay, you really know how to drive a point home, Dre. That's all. Kate,
Yes.
you're 26.
Yes.
Drew, you made up the last two, didn't you?
No.
So, Kate, you got an eating
Somebody
disorder?
else did, though. That's the weird thing about drug names. People just make them
Make
up.
them
and that
up.
I'd
becomes
love
the
to be
drug
in
name.
one of those
To
meetings.
sound like drug names, too.
And the generic name also made up.
Oh, my God.
How about we call it Qualitrol? Sounds a little... Well, okay, that's good. Yeah.
So why do you think they came up with Viagra?
Well,
Vitality.
You're right, vibrant. Kate,
Yes.
you're
Sorry,
26.
Yes.
Yeah, now what's going on? You got an eating problem?
Well, it's not quite as simple as that, of course, because, well, I don't know if that would be considered simple anyway. But I have, for the last several years, found myself to use food very much as a numbing device and as a guaranteed way to kind of dissociate and withdraw and cope with
unpleasant feelings.
Exactly.
A lot of people do that.
Yes.
Depends how much you do that, whether or not it's a disorder.
Right. I would definitely say that...
You're into it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, what's going on?
Do you throw it up?
No, I don't.
You just eat it?
Do you want to hear? This is what's very bizarre. What is very bizarre, I was a little neurotic from a young age. When I was in 4th grade, I had a phobia with throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I've never really got to the bottom of, but I was so afraid that I wouldn't go out to dinner, I wouldn't go out to movies.
It's all about eating and regurgitating. It's all about these oral aggressive impulses. So go ahead. What's the deal?
Is it? I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like at some time, for who knows what reason, it freaked me out.
Right.
And then as I started growing up, and anxiety would make my stomach hurt, and then that would make me
But what's
more
going on
anxious.
tonight?
Are you overweight now?
No, I'm not.
All right,
That's what's very weird.
Well, who cares then?
No, it does matter
For
because
Christ's
you know what?
sake, you eat a whole pizza to your head one night, and you're not fat, and you don't throw it up. It's a big deal.
No, but what happens is it makes me completely emotionally unavailable, and I'm stuck in emotional infancy. And right now, this is really killing me because I've, for the first time in my 26 years or whatever, gotten involved in a relationship that, because I actually have to say that this has, I think, served a very distinct purpose to keep me away
From people.
from relationships.
I think you said a very insightful thing when you said you're stuck in emotional infancy. I think that is accurate.
Oh, God,
and if you really want to move forward with those pieces of yourself that are stuck, why don't you get some treatment?
You know, the thing is, I have been, and I feel like...
What kind of treatment are you doing?
Well, I have been seeing therapists for often... See, that's part of the problem, off and on for a really long time.
Why don't you commit to one and plan to stay for about 5 years?
Actually, why don't you do a group therapy thing for women?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to be sitting in a room with all these women that have the same things, and they'll answer a lot of questions for you that you think is just your own weird neuroses, as you call it, that wants to set you aside. And you cannot walk away from them and go, no, you don't understand. Because they do understand. They have the same thing. And it couldn't be that the shrink is wrong or he doesn't know what he's doing and you're just weird and no one's going to understand.
Right.
Or both. Both individual and group is a good idea.
I mean,
but you've got the whole thing in coming out of infancy is connecting with another human for a sustained period of time. And unless you develop that trust and relationship, you might as well not start the therapy in the first place. And it takes a long time.
I'm still having trouble understanding one thing, which is you're not overweight, you don't throw up, you're not...
She's worried about her what she is calling neuroses. She's just feeling anxious.
But how does then eating, when you eat, how does that manifest itself? You don't want to talk to your mate for that day?
It's like you and your pornography. Just think about that.
Hey, Drew, that's enough.
But it's like that. Think you withdraw and you're unavailable then, right?
First off, let's call it my girlfriend.
Your other girlfriend. Your mistress.
My mistress, my fistress.
Also...
Hey, Drew, would it be out of line? I just thought of something funny. You know, I go to therapy on Monday. I'm there for 50 minutes. I could have a pizza sent over to the office.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny if a pizza showed up in the middle of the session?
No, your therapist probably enjoy it.
And you have Jeff Spicoli walking, carrying it, going, I'm here today.
Hey, Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but... I mean, I understand sort of emotionally what you guys are talking about, but I'm still...
Well, you probably go through a thing where if you eat, you feel like you're not worthy and you were bad and you did a disservice to yourself.
And it seems like I have been...
like a game against
It is. It's a really sick game that I lose every time. I mean, it's something that seems to have so much power that it really alienates everybody.
Listen, go get some therapy, because I think the food...
Just a symptom.
It's just a symptom.
It's not an eating disorder per se. It's just a symptom. And this is a significant issue, which is overcome by symptoms. Get treatment. We're not going to treat anything in a few minutes on the radio here. We're going to just sort of steer you, acknowledge the problem, and steer you in the right direction. So.
All right. Kathy.
Yeah.
You're 16.
Mm-hmm.
You're on with Diane Farr.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, what happened was a few weeks ago, I was over at a friend's house, and her parents went out of town, and so, like, her boyfriend was over too, and we all got really drunk. And I just woke up that morning and her boyfriend was like on top of me and I was like naked.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of hurt down there later. And he approached me later and said, you know, you're on birth control, right? And I said, yeah. And
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, good. And so it kind of like, because I don't really remember, you know, actually having sex with him. And I'm sure, like, I didn't want to because I have a boyfriend, you know, and I wouldn't ever want to do that to him.
Right. All right. Hey, Kathy?
Mm-hmm.
We got to go to a break.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to unravel this big ball of yarn when we come back from the commercial.
Okay.
I just want to give a quick tip to all the young, up-and-coming date rapists and rapists in general. If you're going to get someone loaded or hopped up with roofies or whatever it is, and then, you know, wait till they pass out and then have sex with them, go ahead and roll off of them, you know, before the morning comes around so they don't wake up with your big naked hairy body on top of them. You know what I mean? I mean, at least...
It's bizarre.
Yeah, make some feeble attempt to sort of cover your tracks just a little bit. I'm not condoning it, but don't wake up on top of the person, for Christ's sake. This happens all the time. We get these girls, they call and they went to a party. It's always the same story. They got drunk, and they woke up with their panties on their head and the guy's jockstrap. They're wearing the guy's jockstrap and their panties are on their head. And I keep thinking to myself, listen, you a-holes, you're rapists. You're going to get thrown in jail. And I'm not trying to send the wrong message here, but I'm saying for Christ's sake, if you're going to engage in this, at least make some kind of feeble attempt. Obviously, this guy wants her to know about it.
Right. He's a rapist in training. He wants the credit.
Right. So we'll be back with Diane, and we'll get to the bottom of Kathy. Oh, no kidding. Jamie Farr's our guest tonight. I mean...
you know, that's the first time I've ever heard that joke, Adam.
No, see, I was working with the screw with the memory part. That's interesting. All right, I got to get into this. All right, we got to take our little 10-second top of the hour break, and we'll be right back in 10 seconds.
This is Loveline on
radio station.
KROQ-FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles.
The world famous K-Rock.
It is Loveline, our fabulous co-hostess, partner, Diane Farr.
At large.
From the
does it her own
Loveline TV program, which is...
Plays by our own rules.
On the fabulous MTV. 11:30, I hear now.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be at 12, right?
It used to be at 11.
They moved around a couple.
It is fantabulous. Doing great. You know, it was funny. I talked to somebody the other day about it, and they said, hey, the ratings are real good on the show. And I said, oh, that's good. We'll be back to do more. And they went, no, that's bad. That means they're getting good ratings with the reruns.
Yeah.
So all you people out there, stop watching it immediately. We gotta get back to work. But don't stop watching to the extent where they cancel it. It's a very fine line you walk there. Diane is not only can you find her every night on MTV, you can also find her coming up this Sunday on Arliss, the HBO original comedy series, 9:30.
I'm surprised you remembered that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's yeah, Drew. We got to talk about this. So I have trouble sleeping at night, and so I got these sleeping pills from Drew. Now, once,
I appreciate you paging me emergently to tell me there's a refill on the bottle. That was nice touch.
Hey, Drew, guess what? It's a refill.
I'm like with a patient. He knows I've had a lot of problems in the hospital lately. Like run into a phone. What the hell's going on? I don't recognize the number. It's just an emergent page comes up. It's like, hey. Hey, I got this bottle here. It says it's got refills.
I don't know anything about the prescription.
Do you know what a pharmacist is?
I know it's a guy who plants corn. Or his wife or something.
See, this is why you're not supposed to give drugs to your friends.
I know that.
You know, the funny thing about Drew, too, is he never knows it when I page him. So the phone rings 2 minutes later. Hello, it's Dr. Pinsky. I go, Drew, and there's always this...
Is that a sigh of relief or like, oh my God, where am I going
Stuff like
now?
this makes me sick. A mix of both. Like, all right, something serious, but for Christ's sake, couldn't you not page me?
I didn't know about the whole refill thing. I didn't get that whole part. And when it said refill one time, I didn't know if that counted on the first time, you know?
It'll say 0 if there's no time.
I called you once recently and specifically told the woman, tell him it is not an emergency
Diane was
and there's
very
no rush.
apologetic. She said, I got it. I mean, for you to call. I'm sorry.
Well, he called 45 seconds later. I was terrified.
He
what
expects
they
me to
told
call 45 seconds later.
You owe me, please. So, anyway, he gave me these sleeping pills, and I had to get up real early and do some radio this morning, and I have such a hard time falling asleep, I decided I had to take 2 of them, but it really screwed with my memory.
Oh, yeah. You don't know who you are for...
It destroyed my memory, which is good, really, with me. But I had a funny thing happen. So I had a busy day. I mean, I had a meeting with, who the hell's that, Brian Grazer's...
you won't remember. It's because of medicine, but go ahead.
Richie Cunningham and Brian Grazer. What, Imagine? Is that Imagine?
I'm not sure where Richie works these days, but maybe.
Howard Cunningham. What the...
Don't worry about it. So what's the deal?
What the hell's his name? Anyway... Drew, you shouldn't know. Ron Howard, right? I thought the meeting went pretty good. I don't remember. But here's what happened to me. I get up, did some morning radio. It was fine as far as I knew. I don't remember any of it. And I got a couple of tickets from the radio station to give to a guy who was going to come, a friend of mine who's going to come by my house. And they're just hard ticket form, you know. And I had to go make this meeting. So I told him, get to my house at 10:30. I'll give them to you, but I got to cut out at 11.
You forgot that he was coming over.
No, I knew he was coming over, but I couldn't figure out where I put the tickets. And here's the thing. I parked my car by my garage. I never went up to my house, and I had the tickets in my car. And I was cleaning my car out, and I took a bunch of trash, and I threw it away, and I put a few things, a coffee mug and a CD over there. We looked for a half hour, turned over all my trash cans. Ended up throwing away the tickets. He found them later when I had to split. Could not figure out what I did with the tickets. And I was saying, boy, that's weird. I'm not usually this way. But this drug screws with your memory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. In that case, I was pretty funny this morning.
We've taken 3 calls tonight, by the way.
All right.
We're having such a love fest, the 3 of us here.
Kathy, you're 16, and you were drunk. You're at a party.
No, it wasn't a party. It was just me and my friend and her boyfriend.
And were you having a question whether or not you were raped?
No, I wanted to know, like, I told my boyfriend.
She knows she was raped.
Okay. I didn't know if that was...
Yeah, I pretty much knew following all the clues afterwards.
And you are on the pill.
Yeah, because I've only had sex with one person, which is my boyfriend. And so I told him because we're really close, and I just felt really awful about it, and I didn't know, I was getting upset about it, and I didn't know how to deal with it. Unfortunately, I told him the other night, and so there's no, like, real evidence, you know, of what happened or anything, so I can't really go to anyone, like the authorities or anything.
Where was your boyfriend at the time?
He was going to go out of town the next day, so he was...
By the way, you can go to the authority for nothing else, for a couple of reasons. One is to sort of
if you
assert yourself a little
that
bit,
somebody
and also
raped you, they will arrest
take it
him
seriously.
immediately.
Yeah, and also
will.
There's no doubt he will have done this to other people, and this will help sort of develop evidence against him if he's going out and behaving like this.
I actually know a woman who was raped by 2 people, and she could identify them by the frat jackets. And she went in, and the cops basically told her they will destroy you on the stand, you were drinking, you were at a party, blah, blah, blah. But she had gone to the cops. Well, 3 years later, when you raped and killed somebody else, they brought her in as a witness because they'd done the same demented things to the 2 of them, and she put him away.
Yeah, I'm just afraid.
Really? Wait, hold on. These guys were in a fraternity?
Yeah, she was in college at the time. They were in a fraternity, and she knew who they were from the frat jackets.
But they both raped her simultaneously?
They raped her simultaneously over 2 days in a forest.
Oh, really?
Broke both her hips, her jaw, several of her ribs. She can never have children. It was insane.
How could the cops say
not do anything?
No, the cops said we can go and we will arrest him immediately. He will go to jail. He will get out on bail, and you will have to go into court and stand up and say what happened to you. And they will say, where were you? What were you wearing? What did you drink? What kind of drugs
was that like 10 years ago?
Yeah, actually, it
You know
was
what?
quite a while
I
ago.
think that's no longer. People would not take that approach with rape anymore.
However, they will arrest him no matter what, even if it's for 2 days, and not that you have a moral responsibility to the whole world to stop rape, and if that's not going to make you feel better or safe or anything else, that you should do
really.
it.
I mean, it would make my boyfriend feel better, but like, I mean, my boyfriend wants to kill him and stuff.
Of course.
How old is the guy, the rapist?
I think he's 16 too.
Okay, so you were friends with him before this, though?
Yeah. I was just, I wasn't like real good friends with him, but I've been really good friends with his girlfriend.
Do you think you got drugged, or you just drank too much and passed out?
You drank too much.
I drank.
And you passed out,
Yeah.
and you woke up the next morning?
Yeah, and he was just in bed with me.
And if I could just point out, to be having blackouts at 16, you have alcoholism in your family, you must.
My grandpa.
Yeah, you need to be very cautious because this is
I
a
think I
sign.
had a little bit of alcohol poisoning then.
Well, this is a sign that you have alcoholism beginning here, and it's going to continue. The consequences are going to continue to mount as you get
It
older.
couldn't be that at 16 years old she doesn't know how to drink yet.
Blacking out is so unusual at all. Without, I mean, pure, true blackout tends to be a sign of alcoholism. I mean, not that it can't happen otherwise, and binging certainly can occur, but at 16, a real blackout, suspicious.
All right, so he woke up next to you and then basically started talking about...
on top of me.
On top of you, and then... On top of you? And then started... how could you sleep with some guy on top of you?
I don't know. I was totally out.
Okay, so and then he started talking to you about birth control the next
Later
day.
on, yeah. Later on.
So
Wow, is this guy stupid?
Is your
His
question...
girlfriend was also, like, really tired and throwing up all night and stuff.
Is your question about how do you make yourself feel better? Are you wondering what you're supposed to do?
No, I mean, I feel awful about it, but I felt more awful, like, kind of keeping it from my boyfriend, so I told him, you know, and he's saying, oh, you have to go to the authorities, but for one, it's one of my best friends, like, boyfriends, you know, I've known her since I was, like, 8 or something, and I don't know how to tell her. For one, I don't want to make a big deal because my parents are pretty strict, you know, and I'd be afraid to just start anything. An uproar kind
What did he know? He knew what he was doing, didn't he?
Yeah. You never been a victim before this?
Well, kinda.
What happened?
I don't know. I think something happened to me when I was little, but I don't really remember.
I swear to God, we haven't... I know it happens all the time. We just never talk to them. Every person we talked to that had something like this happen to them had something happen to them before this event.
Yeah.
I didn't think that even on this one, but just decided to bring it up. You think someone who...
I was thinking she was, ballet at 4, one of these things.
What happened?
It's kind of a traumatizing life, so...
Right. Why?
My mom and my half-sister were murdered when I was 6.
Oh, my God.
I mean, yeah, so it's just, you know, my dad's kind of, like, verbally abusive. And
What happened? What happened with your mom and your half-sister?
Well, we were moving because my mom and my dad, like, they could not get along. They had to get a divorce. I mean, they were like, my mom would go out after him with scissors because I guess she was bipolar.
Oh, my God.
And they just fought so much. And so they got a divorce, and my mom and my sister and I were going to move out, and he was going to move back into the house. But the night before, these two guys came in and shot them and, like, robbed our house.
Oh, my God.
They're just robbing the house?
Well, yeah, they kind of, I don't know if they had it planned out. I mean, they knew where our house was just because my sister and her best friend, like, they got a ride home from them at some party, so they knew where the house was.
There you go. All right.
So they caught the guys?
Yeah.
That's nice. Oh, boy. No, it's just like I want to shake her like an Etch-a-Sketch and just start over again. But, you know, it's great, the guy who raped her, you know, it's like, hey, good news. Her grandfather felt her up when she was 4, and then her mom and half-sister got snuffed a couple years ago, so she's ripe for the picking.
Oh, my God.
That's great. Boy, you
She
really
won't do
cashed
anything,
in.
and she'll think it's her fault.
Oh.
I wish I could understand... I mean...
Why you prey on the preyable?
Yeah, why, what is that?
Well, because...
Not the why biologically, but why in a world would create humans to do that.
People take the path of least resistance, and I think they do it when it comes to their prey. Certainly when it comes to their prey. It's like, go pick on somebody whose ass you can kick or who you can hold down and hump, and don't do it against somebody who's either going to kick your ass or is very empowered and is going to turn you in or make your life miserable. People will take the path of least resistance all the time. This is why all this welfare and all this other handout crap doesn't work, because it just turns people into hippos. They just sit home and snack all day. Same thing I would have done, by the way, too. But this is why none of this junk works. And it's the same in all aspects of life. If you give someone a choice between dealing with someone who's a strong and worthy opponent, they're going to go with the weak one. That's why I only fight midgets. True, you know that, right?
I always wonder why. But
All right.
I knew that.
Kathy sounds relatively sane for somebody who's been through
Yes, she does.
what she's been
Yes,
through.
she does.
Thank God. Her boyfriend sounds pretty
Good,
decent, too, for someone who's been through all this junk. So, I don't know. What should she do? She should go she has to say something.
She should say something to the authorities.
She should also understand that the best friend is not going to talk to her in 6 months anyway, no matter what she does. So the friend cannot count as a deciding factor.
Right. The best friend's going to find out and blame her anyway.
But
No
she's a
matter
victim.
what.
She's a survivor of all sorts of things. So why don't you give her some advice on how a group might help her?
I don't know if she's ready for group therapy yet, though, because she's not sure if this is her fault yet, I'm sure. And she probably thinks that she's kind of wrong for this. She was saying she had strict parents and that, you know, this is going to come back at her. If she does something to empower her, or if the boyfriend is really in a good place and does it with him, with her, if she really wants to report it, everybody's going to turn on you, whether you tell on him or not.
She had to go to some sort of support group, don't you think, if she can get
She can definitely go to a support group, particularly when I think for her age group of people that have had a troubled youth, not per se for rape. This isn't about a rape. This is about you not being a victim.
Surviving
so people aren't
abuse.
going to pay more attention to you in a negative
Trauma
fashion.
survival.
All right, you two. Get your own show. Lauren.
Oh, that happened to me today.
Well, first of all,
Someone wanted you to have your own show. Believe me, the Chevy Chase show was going to last longer than your show. Believe me, you'll be dead in the water. Last thing they hear you screaming my name as they drag you from your studio. Magic got canceled today.
He did.
Yeah,
sucks.
I'm dumbfounded.
Wow.
All right, here's all I want, all I pray for in this business. Besides, there's two things I hope for before my life is through. That guys who did this to our last caller get brought to some justice, and that the executives get fired who put magic on. Not magic, because listen, I could go out to the alley behind the studio and find some guy who was hooked on crack and build a series around him. But it wouldn't be his fault if it didn't go a second season. It'd be my fault for dragging the crack addict and making a show based on him. The executives need to be punished. They need to be fired. Believe me, you idiots need to be fired. Whoever's idea it was to put magic on needs to be fired. It's not Magic's fault. Absolutely. Whoever thought Pauly Shore should have another sitcom and they should call it Pauly needs to be fired. The guy who said we need Arsenio Hall back on the air needs to be fired. The executives need to be fired, not the talent. Talent just needs to work it like hot dog on a stick or something, but the executives need to be punished. All right, Lauren.
Well, first of all, last night you were talking with Jeffrey Ross about the people who won the lottery.
Yeah.
Oh, first of all, they haven't even cashed in their ticket yet. They're still working.
The homeless, the toothless folks in Indiana or wherever they're from.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, they're like 10 kinds of white trash.
Yeah, they are.
You never saw anything like
They
it.
bought their ticket in Indiana, and they still haven't cashed it in. And they're still working at their job.
Yeah, well, they got an attorney, so there's something going on with that. Thank God. They need a little vermin to straighten them out.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead.
Well, also last night, someone called in about, it was towards the end of the show, and he wanted you to call someone at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
Yes.
Well, he said he was 15. He's my ex. I'm not going to say his name or anything, but he's really like 18, and he's really bad news.
Is he are you the one that put the calling block on him?
Yeah, I've put a call, or no.
Remember he said he was calling you and everything was going well, all of a sudden
Yeah.
you couldn't get through and he blamed the parents.
Yeah, no, that's not me. I broke.
You broke up with him before this last victim, right?
Right. In fact, I called you, and you told me that it would be right if I broke up with him.
Good.
Yeah, we say that to everybody.
But here's the bizarre thing about that call last night.
Hume Cronin could call about Jessica Tanner. Right? Dump her.
But he wants you're in Utah, right, or something?
No, that's another girl.
Hold on a second. Let me yell at Drew. Listen, I'm on. I OD'd on sleeping pills last night. I got enough sense to know what's going on here, you jackass. This is not the person they put the call block on.
I understand that.
All right, maybe not even from the same state. We got a call last night at the end of the show. Some guy was an idiot. He was 15, said he really liked some girl, and he wanted us to call for him.
Right.
And the reason he couldn't call, he had a relationship with her, so he claimed, but the reason he couldn't call is because they put a call block on his phone number.
Parents supposedly did.
And he wanted us to do his bidding.
Why?
Thank God we're so damn lazy that we just told him to screw off.
No, my thing was, hey, if the parents have a problem with you, there must be some reason for that. And you're giving us reasonable evidence by saying you want to call that house at 2 a.m. and disturb it and have us.
There was a little time difference,
Yeah, I mean, it shows that you're not a very considerate person, and the parents are probably justified.
Right. All right, so Lauren, that's him.
Yeah. Well,
good. So we sussed him out, right?
Yeah, he preys on girls like me who have bad relationships with men. Like, my father left me, even though I forgive him for it now. But he left me when I was, like, not even 1.
Is he dead, your father?
No.
No. You should only forgive people after they die. That's my policy.
No, he's wrong. Ignore that one.
My folks are just praying to die so I can forgive them.
But he got me to, pledge my life to him, gave him money. I ran away for him.
Great.
He turned me into a Manson freak.
Beautiful.
He threw you into what?
A Manson freak.
Turned her into a Manson.
Oh, I see. Oh, really? A real Manson freak, or just a sort of generic Manson freak? Him being Manson. Oh, Marilyn Manson?
Generic.
Yeah.
Oh, Marilyn Manson. I thought it was like I was picturing Charlie Manson.
Right. So was I.
You're getting
it's an
old.
age gap.
True. If we're going to be on MTV, we really got to bone up on this Manson thing. He's just kid. He wears makeup. He sings about mummy rock, and you don't have to, but I got to be there for the kids. You too, Diane. We got to go to.
We're both right out of that loop.
We got to go to some sort of, they have these seminars that they put on for the MTV talent where you sit in a big room and they show a big slide and they go, his name is Puff Daddy. Repeat after me. And everyone goes, Puff Daddy. Now, we're going to use down in a phrase. Adam, would you like to try? The airplane went down. No. I'm down with that. And then we all repeat, I'm down with that.
Is this cool?
And then I raised my hand. Yes, Mr. Carolla. I'm a little confused. Is it a rave or a rage? It's a rave, Mr. Carolla. Please, keep copious. And then I jot it down. And then they usually on the overhead projector will write it in a grease pencil. True, you weren't at the last MTV meeting, were you?
I skipped out of it.
Oh,
no.
All right.
Placed out of it.
Jesus Christ. And listen, our only chance for survival as a country and as a planet is if idiots stop having kids. Mm-hmm. And they start empowering some of these broads a little bit.
Wow.
I mean,
oh my God.
It may just be the sleeping pills.
Sleeping pills. I swear to God.
But I believe
I finally converted him, I guess.
They're guys who are going to do anything they can.
Yeah.
They just will, and there'll always be an abundance of guys who'll do anything they can get away with.
The whole culture has been shifted in such a way as to empower guys to just go run amok.
Right.
And women are supposed to encourage that and participate.
Drew, your guy, so mellow out, would you? Let's not ruin it for everyone. But listen, here's the deal. Papa, your daughter, that's all she bases her male relationships on. And if you screw her over, then she's going to be a victim her whole life. So stop it. Start being good dads, or don't have kids. It's one or the other. Give you a choice. So it's like owning a horse. Like either you can afford a stall and some hay, and you got to brush the thing down every once in a while, or you don't have one. That's all. Mm-hmm. You don't have one and let it rot out in the yard. I swear to God,
we protect horses better.
I wish people put the thought into kids that they put into livestock.
Yeah.
I really do.
Like anytime there's an animal in a film, there's a thing at the end. No animal was harmed in making this, but they can chop off some chick's head, like in a full view, and that's like, that was kind of interesting. I didn't love the special effects, but God forbid that dog was moved improperly because it has more importance than the human being.
Right. I know. Everyone goes nuts with the animals. Even insects, by the way. Insects people get weird about. It's bizarre, but it's the same screwed up people with a bunch of misplaced energy.
Affection.
Yeah, it's really when they see the dog getting ran over, it's their dad they see out there, and they're kind of pent up and screwed up. As a matter of fact, everyone who writes a letter is screwed up and it's misplaced. It's got nothing to do with whatever they're writing the letter. They write Papa, scratch out whatever you're writing at the top, Loveline or Herbalife or wherever you're writing Scientology, whoever you're complaining to, just write Dad, and then it's a believable letter. Oh boy, what a curse! I swear, I'd rather be hooked on cocaine or heroin than have a sleep disorder. I got to get evaluated. I'm just scared I'm going to start masturbating in the isolation tank. Yeah. Oh, for Christ's sake, you're videotaping that? Oh, that's right. I'll take the other tube sock and put it over the lens. Diane Farr's here tonight. You know her from her work on MTV and the fabulous Loveline program. You're going to see her on HBO on the Arliss show, Sunday nights, 9:30. She is guest starring on this particular upcoming episode. And like I said, not a bit part, all over this thing. Very rangy, very talented. I was very impressed. And also going to be wrestling Pamela Anderson for the March of Dimes. Or is that a publicity thing? No, it's a show she's doing.
No, it's our new show.
VIP. This is the new show. It's going to be on Fox, was it? Mm-hmm. What does VIP stand for
it's
in
totally
her
classic, because the other one that you were talking about, Lawless or Flawless, whatever
John Lawless.
Yeah. It was his last name. VIP is Valerie Irons Protection, and her name is Valerie Irons.
It's always good. I love that.
Can't forget it that way.
The great retarded logic the TV people use is, if we're going to give him a last name like Drug Runner, he has to have a real plain first name.
Right.
See what I mean?
Bill.
Right. So it's always John Lawless or John Enforcer or something. He has to have a real plain, because it wouldn't be believable if his name was Alfonso Lawless. No one would buy that. But give him a real plain first name, and then we'll buy into it.
It's a little terrifying.
Oh, that was a good show. Lawless. Ellen.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
what's going on?
Not much.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. I think you guys are great, but I really need Diane's advice.
Yay.
I watch the show all the time, and you guys are great, but I've been dying to ask a chick this, and she's the only person I can ask because I'm too embarrassed to ask my friends. Here's the deal. I'm married. I have regular intercourse, but I never have orgasms during intercourse. And I've read, masturbation is, a good way to get more in touch with that, but I don't know if just no one has described how you're supposed to do this, but I'm just not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and I wondered if Diane had any recommendations, any other methods I might be missing.
Well, how often are you doing this?
By the way, is one of our affiliates? Could your father be hearing this?
No, they can't. I checked today.
Okay,
they
good.
can't hear it where they are.
Fantastic. Where are they?
New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
You are?
Don't stifle, Diane.
Yeah,
go ahead.
How often are you doing this?
I don't know. I try once a week, I guess.
She's really not doing it. Is the problem?
Well, I just didn't know how to do. I kind of gave up.
Well, there is actually a trick. There's a chick trick. Do you have a shower massager?
No.
You can use a bathtub spigot too.
Well, the shower massager is movable. You can take it off the head.
What are you giving tips on masturbation?
He's right. He knows exactly where I'm going.
And Anne's been talking about it for years.
Oh, my God.
It's Anne, you down with the shower massager theory? Yeah, we're getting a thumbs up.
Now, but is that bad physically? I mean, wouldn't that be bad for you?
No.
It's just water. I mean, you're taking a shower every day anyway. But I think probably you might have a slight lubrication problem, or you might have just a problem with what you're doing. If you're using the shower massager, just try it. I swear it'll help. And everyone should go and get one for their single girlfriend for a Christmas present, because they're fabulous.
Yeah.
The bathtub, too.
You like the spigot in the bathtub?
Yeah.
I just feel like I should say this because I'm responsible. We are having one of the hottest summers on record, and there is a drought going on in many states of the union. You broad spending 45 minutes washing your crotch out is not gonna do the country much good. You understand?
And you don't water your lawn, right,
We
Adam?
need that water for irrigation to feed this country, not to irrigate your loins.
No, try the shower massager. I bet it'll do the trick.
Okay.
Yeah. Anne's so hooked on it, when she goes swimming, she follows that Polaris thing around the pool. She actually dated one for 4 years. That thing that every once in a while the hose comes out and, shoots water.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had a few beers and chased it around the pool. It was like, those cartoons when like a hippo sees like a piece of farm equipment and then the heart-shaped bubbles come from their head. They fall in love. It was like Ann. Ann was like that with the Polaris. Brian?
Yes, hello?
You're 27?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. Good show. Anyways, I have a question about Paranoia, I guess.
No,
he's been on for 100 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, come on.
I didn't like that good show.
Yeah. He's...
All right, he's got trouble.
Brian.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're paranoid?
Yeah.
You doing a lot of speed?
Not a lot.
All you have to do is about 2 or 3 times a week, and eventually you'll become severely paranoid.
Well, actually, I really haven't. Matter of fact, I haven't even done it in a long time.
The paranoia from speed will last for about 6 months, typically.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Has it been longer than 6 months?
Yeah, it has.
Well, then there's something else going on.
About 8 months, actually.
Was speed the only drug you were doing?
That was it. And I used to actually. I'm also an alcoholic. And I haven't had a drink in about 5 days.
Well, you're detox. I mean, is the paranoia getting worse over the last 5 days?
Slightly better, but still there. It's like when I go out in public, people just kind of stare at me.
Well, that's your sense of it anyway.
Mm.
Well, you need to get treated, Brian. I mean, you have severe addiction. Paranoia can be part of that, or it might be some other underlying condition that's coming out, or it could be part of the organic damage you may have done.
I did do a lot of acid when I was younger.
Right, the acid is the drug I was looking for, because that's the one that can create permanent personality changes and thought problems.
What kind of drugs would there be for me, and what would be the side effects?
Well, first you want to get off everything and see where you are. I mean, you got to remember about alcohol is that alcohol is the one drug from which people can withdraw that is not uncommonly fatal.
Mm-hmm.
The DTs has a very high incidence of fatality, and you shouldn't be detoxing on your own.
Why, though? I think drug addicts are lucky in the sense that they have a reason they're miserable, and they can get off of something.
Right, that's right.
Look at me. I don't really do any drugs. I'm fairly sober.
You're worrying about your sleep disorder again?
Yeah, I'm not that. I'm still
waxing
miserable.
on about that.
I'm saying I'm miserable. There's nothing to get off of. I just have to kill myself. Right. Brian can get off of whatever he's on a multitude of things.
And things might get better just by getting off the substances.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian, get some help. This is not something that's going to get better without a lot of work, whether or not it's 1 or 2 conditions. Both, it requires just by this brief brush with you, I would say an inpatient hospitalization.
Really?
And detox and stabilization and assessment and then
put
treatment.
Yourself in for that?
Yeah, I mean, insurance companies are ultimately decide, your resources decide what you can and can't do ultimately. But somebody his condition should be somewhere for at least a week.
Sandra.
Yeah.
You're 18.
Yes, I am.
All right, there. You're perky and you're lucid. I like that.
Okay, well, my thing is, I kind of fantasize about being with married men.
Mm-hmm.
Diane, is that normal?
It's a fantasy. Do you want to bring this to reality, or you?
No, I don't want to be an adulteress. Hell no.
All right, don't jump down my throat. You have the fantasy. What's your question then?
Well, that was basically it. I was just wondering if that was normal or what.
It doesn't matter who the guy is. I mean, if there was a guy who was less attractive and single, would you still fantasize? I should say more attractive and single. Would you still fantasize about the guy who was less attractive and married?
Probably.
Yeah, because she's a bad girl in the fantasy. She's doing something wrong.
Hey, what if I fantasized that I was married and then you came over and did something to me? Would that work? Or does it really need to present some documentation? Hey, Sandra.
Yeah.
Is it that you're scared of getting committed in a relationship?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure it's that, though.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's okay to have a fantasy. A fantasy doesn't mean that you want to go and do it, and you said that you don't want to do it, and people use different things to get themselves excited.
It's strange to me, though, when somebody picks a fantasy that, I don't know, and I know women can do this more than guys, but there's nothing sexual about it, or there's nothing better or worse about the person. It's just their title.
We were talking about that last night, though, about guys that are available women are not interested, but the unavailable guy who somebody else has must be good property.
Right.
And there's some biological imperative for all that. I mean, that's
all right, but
I would think that this really doesn't have to do with the guy. It has to do with who she sees herself as and where she can cross.
Right.
Absolutely.
No, I'm with you on that, but I'm just curious. Have you had other relationships?
No, not really.
Are you sort of drawn to emotionally unavailable people, men?
Are you a virgin?
Yes.
Okay, she's fine.
Yeah.
She's just having
hold on, you two.
fantasy.
I'm trying to get to something here because you got to understand she called.
Yeah.
And wanted to know about it too.
Because she doesn't know if this means she is a bad girl or she's going to end up doing this.
All right, you won't be coming back.
But you guys are always convinced that women have to be emotionally involved to orgasm.
No, not always. Not always.
All right.
That's true. That's not.
Because in the same breath, you say, yeah, the chick's, on the exercise machine and she has an orgasm. But women aren't taught that masturbation is okay the same way. They're not taught that they're allowed to fantasize. This is something that I think most women think is bad if they start doing it.
All right.
And you wouldn't know at 18 years old whether or not you're an okay person or if other people have these thoughts.
True. But I'm still going to pry a little. Where's your dad?
He left when she was 1.
He's gone.
No,
he's around. He's around.
Yeah.
You're all right with him?
I don't like him, no.
Why? What's the matter?
I can't stand him.
Oh, except for that. Why?
He's like really manipulative, and he's kind of a control freak. Both my parents are.
Are they married?
Yes, they are.
Can this be, I'm 18 and I'm mad at my father?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you've never been in a relationship.
Right.
See, here's the angle I'm working. When I hear somebody say they fantasize, now listen, you can fantasize about anything you want to fantasize about, but when you call a radio station and you present it as sort of a problem or a possible problem, then I'm going to try to find an angle on it and see if it is a problem.
Okay,
if I stopped Sandra on the street and said, hey, what do you fantasize about real quick? And she said married men, I'd tell her, you're fine, go the other direction. But she called the show up, so I'm going to try to get out the magnifying glass and see what I can find. Maybe I'll find my penis while I have it out. So see, here's my hypothesis. She doesn't like her dad much. She's 18. She doesn't really date. She's scared of getting involved with something, and she fantasizes about guys that are spoken for that she can't really get involved with emotionally. Because you've never really had a relationship, have you?
No.
And not that 18 makes you an old maid, but most women have had a boyfriend or two by the time they're 18.
Exactly.
So you're keeping detached from men in relationships. And I think that's where this fantasy comes from.
I think that's
But it's not really even a fantasy. You know what I mean?
It's just a preference.
What would it be?
It's a desire preference. It's a way of keeping yourself insulated from a vulnerability, frankly.
But that's bad.
Right.
Yeah, you'll get over it.
That's all right.
You'll go to college and have a real relationship, and you're going to tend to go for guys that are emotionally unavailable. I'm not entirely clear on exactly why that is. Part of it is not liking dad and having that all that all there, but there are many other sort of manifestations of an emotionally unavailable man, and you're going to find some of those too.
I think when you think your dad's an a-hole or one of your parents is an a-hole, it's an automatic betrayal. They don't have to feel you up. They don't have to leave the country. They don't have to physically abandon you.
It's called an empathic failure, and that is traumatizing.
Right. Yeah. And that makes it tough to trust other people and get in a relationship.
Yes.
All right.
And what you do, though, is pick the same kind of people to try to solve it again, and the same kind of people just recreate the same circumstances.
Okay. Drew likes to pick up my good ideas, run with them, and make it his own. Still known as the dumb one, though. You're not known as the dumb one. You must be known as the chick.
I'm the chick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Drew's kind of the chick, too. We'll be back. This Reading, who's going to be on the show next week, and the week after that, Korn will be in here.
Viva Variety.
Elaine, is that Elaine Hendricks from The Parent Trap?
Yeah.
Yeah. She plays the mean blonde on The Parent Trap.
And the square to our left.
Yeah, we met her at the... Drew's usually playing the square to my left, but we saw her on the Hollywood... wrong with a little pun humor every once in a while. We met her on the Hollywood Squares Sunday, and we were thick as thieves, so we invited her on. The Viva Variety guys are going to be in here, but that's all next week. Tonight, Diane Farr. is here from the Loveline TV show and also from Arliss coming up this week.
Anything else coming up?
Sunday. Oh, yeah.
VIPs
Movies?
up in September. I just finished a film called Bingo. Great film. Really small budget. It'll probably only air in my mother's living room. And that's about it.
What happens to films like that?
They shoot for a distribution deal. They sometimes get it, they sometimes don't. Go to festivals, industry people see it. Everybody gets a little bit of stuff from it, but you generally don't see them in a theater, which is a shame because most of them are great. It's just they don't have the mass appeal to get it out.
I think I've done a couple of movies, had a few small parts in them. I have no idea if they've ever been released or what the hell ever happened to them. As a matter of fact, I don't even know the names. I don't know.
Well, by the looks of today, we'll be doing one of them together very soon.
I don't know what's wrong with me. But the point is it's easy work if you can get it. A lot of standing around, a lot of eating, a lot of hanging.
It's like television.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's even more hanging out.
Really?
Yeah. And, when we did that sitcom, we found out there's a lot of hanging out.
Because you tell people that we do 3 or 4 shows a day, and they're shocked
Freaked out.
and, like, horrified over how much work you do. Because anything else you do, dramas, you do a little bit more work. But sitcoms is like, you could do it in a day. And the amount of money that they spend to do it in 5 is unbelievable.
Lots of guys sitting around doing nothing, getting paid a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Boy, this industry is just chock full of guys sitting around getting paid to do nothing. And we're going to do, or Diane is lobbying us to do the new Love Boat, where we go on, the 3 of us go on. I want Charlene Tilton to be my wife if I go on. I got to get a piece of that. I've been gunning for her for like 20 years now, and I think I could get her.
That'd be the way.
Yeah, see,
Put that in the pitch.
Let me tell you my plan. When I was 13 or 14, I watched a lot of the shows, Charlie's Angels and Dallas and, Falcon Crest and Dynasty. And I had the hots, Wonder Woman. Still going to get her. God damn it, she sobered up. This Linda Carter sobered up. It's too bad. I think I could have got her when she was loaded, maybe blacked out. But the point is I had these girls in my size when I was 14 years old. I wasn't going anywhere. But now I got a little bit of celebrity going, and they're all getting near 50. So I think I could get them now. And again, it's just one of those namesake things. Mm-hmm. Drew, you with me?
I'm here.
Daniel.
Yeah, hi.
You're 19.
17.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, Dan?
Well, I had this hernia surgery about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was that, I was born with it, and none of the doctors seemed to catch it. And, the intestine went through the stomach wall or something.
Mm-hmm. That's what a hernia is.
Yeah, right. And it attached itself to my right testicle.
That's because it's been there so long.
Yeah. And it just... we always wondered why it was so big, and the doctors they always thought it was mumps.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Drew, we had a call last night and said it may have been mumps, where the guy had a testing problem.
Yeah. But whenever people call in and say, gee, I've got 3 testicles, or I have a large testicle, we always tell them it could be a cystocele, it could be a hernia, it could be a lot of different things. But in your case, it was a hernia.
Yeah. And after they fixed it, now, my sac is still, really big. And it seems like, the balls hang all the way down at the bottom, and I seem to sit on them a lot, and is there any way that could solve that problem?
No. We'll use jockey underwear. Wear support briefs.
Yeah. They
don't do tucks for guys, like a lift and tuck?
No.
Couldn't they pull the skin up around the scruff of his neck, that area? Wouldn't that raise him up?
Like a cartoon pulling?
Or they pull your nose out and your nuts raise up?
No, Dan, that's fine. As long as you got it repaired, everything's okay. Don't worry. Okay, you may want to get it checked to make sure there's not been a recurrence, though, if it's really hanging down lower and enlarged.
Yeah, I had it checked, and
good.
Because I had a little bit of pain, they gave me some painkillers.
The real crime is it makes your penis look small, right?
Not really.
Really? Well, he was in good shape. It's a relative thing. Hey, Daniel?
Yeah?
You wear the jockey shorts, or do you wear the boxer shorts?
I wear the boxer shorts.
Wear the jockeys.
Wear the jockeys.
How about the jockey briefs? They have those new, what do they call those brief... Boxer, yeah, there you go. They'll give you the best of both worlds.
Yeah, of course. You can't wear the boxers. Of course you're going to sit on your sack. You have like a whoopee sack. You sit on there, it makes a weird noise. It's a good novelty.
Noise comes out of his mouth.
The noise is you screaming in pain, but it's still kind of fun. Hey, Daniel?
Yeah?
Yeah, wear the briefs, would you?
Okay.
Stop screwing around. I don't like these guys who wear the boxers. I got this weird thing with that.
Why?
Because I wore the what was commonly referred to as the ball nuggers when I was in junior high. And for some reason, I swear to God cursed me. I got to junior high when two things were in vogue. Boxer underwear and long feathered back hair.
You're gay. Two things that weren't in your repertoire.
I was like Brillo head wearing the bun huggers and just looking like the biggest nerd around.
So you want everybody else to know also?
I want everyone to feel my pain. I'm just saying I'm mad at boxers. These are not underpants. As a matter of fact, I don't even know why you need to wear boxers.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yes.
I mean, I wear underpants to sort of keep the junk in place. I don't know why a guy wears it. And the fly always hangs open in boxers. It always hangs open. And what happens is your penis comes out of that, and it feels real weird. You know what I'm talking about, Drew?
If there's something short and sticking sort of this way, that tends to, you see how that works?
Go through there,
If
yeah.
there's something going this way.
I don't think that people can see that without the visual. But it was very funny.
If my penis was wilting and facing the ground, it wouldn't do it.
Long enough to face the ground.
Oh, he's on you today.
Right. An elephant's trunk doesn't stick straight out.
Right. Unless it's accordioned in like in a cartoon.
Right, like it gets socked in the nose.
Right.
Maybe I got socked in the penis when I was a youth.
Do you have a question for us,
The
Adam?
frying pan or something. Anyway, I don't like the boxers, and I don't approve. And I'm trying to get a class action lawsuit against the manufacturers. Mark?
What's up, guys?
Hey, you're 21.
How you doing?
Nah, I'm done.
I've
So make it fast.
got a weird question for you guys. It's not really based on sexual or anything like that, but it's maybe you can help me out. I'm 21 years old, and my entire life I've sucked my thumb. It's not something I do in public or something I
Is it just
do
when
in the living room.
is it when you're falling asleep?
Yeah, well, it is. It's something that makes me fall asleep, and I tend to do it probably throughout the entire night.
You do it consciously, or do you wake up doing it?
No,
You
I'll
choose to
sit
do
here
it.
and do it.
Yeah.
Just like watching TV late at night. It's not something I do in the day. But I'm trying to kick it, and I can't get rid of it.
You got to use that bitter apple spray.
No, I mean it says something. I mean it's a very primitive action, and you may have a sort of.
Is it all shriveled and weird?
No, it's crazy, but my brother, he's 18, and he sucks his finger still. And it's like we've had a perfect childhood. Our parents are still together. I mean, we've everything's been 100% beautiful. It's not like I can blame this on anyone.
Do you ever try to go to sleep without putting it in your mouth before you go to sleep?
Actually, for 4 years, I had braces, and then I was given retainers. And the retainers, when I have them in my mouth, I can sleep fine. It's like having the thumb in my mouth almost.
Yeah.
But like recently, one of my retainers broke. I've yet to get it fixed. I'm getting around to doing that, but I'm starting to notice it's happening again. And I was still wearing one of the other retainers, and I'll still suck my thumb when they're both not in there, which ruins one of the retainers.
But can you fall asleep without it in your mouth? If you
I
don't?
can. Oh, definitely.
But
if
you
I'm
wake.
like on an airplane, it's inevitable.
But then you wake up and it's in your mouth?
No. It's like I'm subconsciously know that I'm
He's
in public.
okay.
I shouldn't do it.
All right, but if you're at home and you just go to bed, can you just go to bed without putting it in your mouth?
No.
No.
Not without the retainers in. It's almost like I can try, without a sock on my hand or a plastic glove.
I don't know that you have to worry about this. It means something, but if you're otherwise functioning well and you have no other symptoms, okay.
They
it's one of
have
those
that
things.
stuff that people paint on to stop biting their nails.
That's the point. You could approach it as a behavioral issue if you really want to stop it, which you're kind of doing on your own with the retainer.
By the way, I don't know a kid who hasn't either sat on, broke, or lost his retainer. His or her retainer. These things are like $500 a pop, and I swear to God, if I ever have kids and they need a retainer, I'm gonna put a chain on it, like they have on a wallet. It's gonna go right from their mouth, right around to their right to their belt loop.
Maybe he just needs a validation that it's okay and that this isn't an awful thing, and if it's all right, then he can just stop it. I think if he came to a pass in his life where he had to, he'd
would
probably
right.
stop.
I think you're right.
And not worry about
All right,
it.
but we're all agreeing it's not a big problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Drew, we'd like to keep you on. We'd like to retain you as a doctor. No, you'd be pissed. All right, that's enough out of you. Drew,
yeah.
I hope you get a fastball in the nuts on Saturday when you're playing that godforsaken Dodger All-Star BS celebrity game.
Thank you. I'll think of you.
I really do.
There.
I hope Tom Selleck rapes you in the dugout.
Oh, my.
I put a curse on every celebrity who's there. I really do. I'll be throwing out the first ball for the Albuquerque AAA team, the Running Geese. So that's what I'll be doing this weekend. All right, Diane, thanks very much. God bless you.
Thank you, boys.
This was a good time. We should talk more often. Until next time, this Adam.
Let's take up all the time on the radio.
It's Adam Kroll for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.